Hello folks, this is Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing again. I want to do a video on how to polish a chrome exhaust tip. This chrome exhaust tip is rather large, bigger than most. This is coming off a big vehicle, so I have a lot of surface space here. I can polish this by hand, or I can use a certain type of tool, and I'm going to highlight that tool in this video. But one of the things I want to do, if you've watched my video on wheel cleaning, and I've used a product called MEGUIARS wheel brightener. Now this is an acid-based wheel cleaner. I'm actually going to use this because I understand the chemistry behind acid-based products and how they work on chrome. And one of the reasons why I want to use this is incredibly effective at being able to remove water spots from wheels. They're also great for breaking down brake dust and certain types of metals that can get stuck on the wheel. And what I have in this exhaust tip is that we have all this carbon buildup. Now, I'm not going to be able to completely remove all this carbon, I don't think anyway, because it's been a while since the inside's been cleaned. But when I actually do this for a customer, not only do I want to do the outside, but if I can access the inside of the exhaust tip, I want to try to clean that as well. And again, that carbon is basically exhaust dust and little pieces of metal that are coming off the engine. And because the MEGUIARS wheel brightener is acid-based and it works so well at breaking down brake dust and metal on wheels, I'm going to try it on here. Also, this removes water spots, and because this exhaust tip gets hot, rainwater can splash on it, or puddles that I run through can splash on here, and I can get water spots on this chrome. This is going to potentially remove that even before I polish it, so it would look something like this. And I'll spray some on the inside too to let it break down some of that carbon. Now I'll just let it dwell for a couple of seconds, and I'll take a dedicated microfiber towel that I don't really care much about. I'm not going to use it on the surface of the paint. This is kind of a towel that I don't mind getting dirty, and I'm just going to simply wipe off this chrome tip. Now, just doing that alone with the MEGUIARS wheel brightener has brought some shine back into this exhaust chrome tip, or this chrome tip for this exhaust, and that's I have to laugh because that's great, because there was water spots all over it, and that acid-based cleaner just took those water spots right off there even before I polish it. But I'm still going to polish it even though I've cleaned it with the wheel brightener. Now the other thing is, like I was saying before, I want to try to get some of this carbon, if I can, off the end of the tip, and I'll spray that again, and I'll use my wheel cleaner. This is the Easy Detail wheel cleaner to kind of get into the wheel barrels, and I'll use this inside the exhaust tip and see if that will break down some of that carbon with the use of the wheel brightener in there. Again, the carbon that's inside these exhaust tips can get pretty aggressive. Kind of hard to remove all of them unless you want to sit here for about an hour and try. You're welcome to do that. I've done it before, but typically when we're detailing, we're really going to hone in and address the outside. But as a professional detailer, I want to see what kind of results I can get for myself or for my customer on the inside. Now that broke down some of it, but it didn't do it all. Now another thing that I like to use is, I actually picked this up at, I think it was Lowe's or Home Depot. It's made by 3M. Boy, and I keep dropping it. It's a finishing pad. It's slightly abrasive, but it's not abrasive enough to actually scratch this chrome tip. It's kind of like using maybe something relative to, or in relationship to, like 000 or 4 type of wool, or boy, I can't even think. Steel wool, excuse me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray the wheel brightener again, the acid-based wheel brightener on the tip. Maybe even put some on here, and then I'll go in here with this. And do it on the outside as well. I don't know if the video is picking it up, but it's actually doing a pretty good job. I'm pretty impressed that just slightly agitating it with this little finishing pad from 3M, it's gotten that pretty clean. And then I'll go in with a microfiber towel and just mop up that wheel brightener. Okay. That doesn't look too bad. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to polish this chrome tip. And what I'm going to use is a product that I enjoy. It's called Flitz. It's Flitz metal polish, and it's actually made in Germany. And I'm going to put it on the outside of the exhaust tip so it would look like this. I'm wearing vinyl gloves, so I'm going to put some of my vinyl glove here and actually just wipe it onto the surface of the chrome tip. Now that I've got that all over the exhaust tip, I'm just going to wipe off my hand with this microfiber towel. And I'm going to highlight another tool that I'm absolutely in love with. This is also made by Flitz. This is a microfiber buffing ball, but it's kind of an interesting microfiber buffing ball. I guess according to Flitz, it's some type of German engineered, German made. I want to say it's called viscose microfiber, something like that. This stuff is incredibly durable, and it's not going to scratch the plastic. When I go to put this tool inside here between the bumper and the chrome tip, it's not going to hurt the plastic. This is incredibly gentle, yet it's aggressive enough to be able to activate that polish that's on the tip of the exhaust, and it would look something like this. And I have it attached to a cordless drill, and I'm going to work it slowly at first just to kind of pick up some of that polish and let the polish get onto the ball, and then I'll speed up my RPMs to actually finish out the polishing. Now what's great about this tool as well, this Flitz ball with this special microfiber head on it, it also has a plastic little sheath on this metal rod, so it can't hurt anything. It can't scratch or hurt the plastic, or if this bumper was completely painted all the way down, this little plastic coating or this sheath that's on the metal rod that attaches to the buff ball won't actually scratch the painted surface if this actually had been painted. So that's kind of cool as well. Now that I've buffed that off, I'll just take a microfiber towel and simply go in and buff to a high shine. And that to me is an absolutely shiny chrome exhaust tip, and that's what I'm looking for. And what I love about this tool is that it kind of takes the elbow grease out of it. Detailing our cars is not an easy process, and after a while you're going to get pretty tired. This will take some of that elbow grease out of it. and get you a nice high shine. But that's how I polish chrome exhaust tips. I like to use the MEGUIARS wheel brightener. I know it's dedicated for wheels, but it's acid based. I like to spray it on the chrome tip first to be able to knock all those water spots off, because this acid-based cleaner will eat through certain types of water spots that may be on the surface of the chrome or even on the surface of the paint on your car. And I want to knock all of that junk and grime and those water spots off the chrome tip first before I polish it, just to make my life a little bit easier. And it also helps too. I could probably continue here for another 15-20 minutes on the inside of this tip and get it completely shiny on the outside. But for the purpose of this video, I just wanted to cut to the chase and show you how I actually polish chrome tips. Certainly on the outside, those have to be dialed in and addressed for my customers. That's important to me. But that's what I use. The Flitz power ball attached to a cordless drill, using the Flitz polish, the MEGUIARS wheel brightener acid-based cleaner, and then of course this little 3M scouring pad, but it's kind of very, it's not all that aggressive. It's probably equivalent to like triple-aught steel wool, so it's perfectly fine for chrome. It's not going to scratch it, and you'll be able to get a nice high shine from it. But those are the tools I use. I hope that helps you guys out on how I polish chrome exhaust tips. And until next time, be safe.